Okay, thank you for tuning in. This is Sharonda again, and this is my podcast, Spiritual Sense, as well as my YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. And in this channel, I go over a variety of topics in regards to the paranormal. I go over angels, demons, near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences. I also do some research and go over alternative ways of religious practices and belief systems, and also incorporate some tarot card reading into this podcast and webinar as well. I do like to state that this podcast is for entertainment purposes. That means I don't pry on or snoop or even try to spy on people to gain information so I can present it to you. No, I don't do anything of that nature. If it just so happened that this podcast coincide with something that's going on in your life or what have you, that may be by happenstance or just by chance, okay? When you begin to work with spirituality and spirit work, you will begin to see how the Spirit of God works, okay? Many times I understand when you're under a lot of stress and strain, it may appear as though everybody is against you and everybody is working, out of your favor. And sometimes that may be the case, depending on, if you are systematically placed in a situation where people are trying to force you to be something that you don't want to be. So I do understand and I know that. And because that does exist, it does. But what you will begin to find is that that's not my intention. Okay. Plain and simple. Okay, so let me proceed. Many people who don't believe in tarot card reading, that's fine. You don't have to believe in tarot card reading. There's other podcasts that you may be interested in. I do have the Holistic Health podcast where I go over, natural remedies in regards to teas, tonics, things of that nature that may be beneficial to you. And that's my Holistic Health podcast. I do have the Talk Radio podcast where I go over some community-based programs that you may be interested in terms of continuing education courses, job fees. I provide job fees that I may hear about, and I list it on there. Health and fitness information, as well as business and finance. I do go over some astrology as well as numerology information on it as well. And I may incorporate, reviews on services or product on that particular podcast as well. Also, I have the Health Matters podcast where I pull information off of different websites in regards to medical concerns, ailments, and illnesses that yourself, family, and friends may be affected by or afflicted by, okay? And that is on my Health Matters podcast, okay? So before I begin, let me proceed. I have made sure that my cards were not in those, it seemed like they was in a systematic type of way. So that could be from me, because there's no one that I don't hope nobody will come in your house and tamper with your tarot cards. And if they are someone that would do that, chances are they don't have anything else better to do. And I'll leave it at that. Okay. So anyways, let me proceed. So I've cut the cards. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to proceed to just take half of the cards. And then I'll spread them out. And so give me just a moment. Okay. So I am going to pull the cards, but before I pull the cards, I'm going to say a prayer Father Supreme Being of all being. I don't know what I'm doing this reading on, but I do feel like it's a relevant reading. Um, and so please give me infinite knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as I do this reading. I think what has happened now that I sit back and think is that when I placed the cards, it was turned around when I placed them in within the deck, and I wasn't paying attention. Okay. So I'm just working with one card today. That is my 8E weight cards. And give me infinite wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as I do this reading. And so let me proceed. So we're going to say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So, and this is for my daily readings. As I mentioned, I'm just working with one card today. All right, so we're going to proceed to spread out the cards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so right now, I have for part 1. And before I go into my reading, I'd like to also mention that I favor the Celtic Cross, which is a 10-card spread, 6 cards in the middle, and then you have 4 additional cards up the side for more clarity as to what you're doing the reading on. I also may incorporate a 1, 2, 3, 4, or even a 5-card spread with my 2 supporting cards. And those 2, because I have a total of 5 decks of cards. The supporting decks are my angel cards and my moonology cards. So I may do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 card spread with my supporting deck if it seems as though the outcome is a little bit fuzzy or there's more information that I need to convey. So with card 1, I have the 8 of Pentacles as what I'm doing the reading on. Card 2, this is the barrier or obstacle. I have the 5 of Swords. Card 3, this is above the issue of where you're getting at. I have the Queen of Pentacles. Card 4, the root of the issue. I have the Sun card. Is what I have for this reading. Card 5, I have 8 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. Card 6, I have the World card. So right now, I feel as though something is letting me know that I had an inclination prior to, and I think what is happening is more and more people are getting off into, I mentioned this before, that there are going to be a lot of people that's going to turn away from what they once believed and no longer believe those things. And a lot of people are going to be turning into a cult type of belief systems because the things that they once was told does not work no longer in their life. Okay. So I honestly feel like there is a movement in, again, this is coming up, but it's a little bit more detailed. I feel like because of people feeling like they have been bamboozled or they have been made to look like a fool or deceived, more people are turning to this new age way of looking at life and this new age way of getting answers, so to speak, right now. So I feel as though this reading is actually on those individuals who are into tarot work and occultism and alternative pagan belief systems and such. trust and believe I am not judging you at all. Because when you begin to see things on a different scale and God has enlightened you and you have received that true epiphany from God, what other else alternatives do you have? Because oftentimes you'll find that people who want to sit here and, shake a Bible or shake a book at you, and then when it comes time to actually do something, that's all they know how to do is use the tongue to what? Break the spirit down to where, to put you in a sense of insecurity to make you perpetuate something that is their agenda, their cause. So I honestly feel like that this reading is in reference to getting back to that. Those who are into spirit works, those who are into tarot card reading. As I mentioned in a previous tarot card reading, I do not feel as though the supreme being, me and God, is totally pleased with it, but I do feel as though he is empathetic or understanding of it, is what I feel. So and not necessarily that he totally agrees with the tarot card reading and delving off into the spiritualism and the spiritual things, but as I mentioned before, I believe all things of God are God, whether it be favorable or unfavorable. So, what works for me works for me. What works for the next person may work for the next person. But what I do is, when I begin to incorporate, the deities and the orishas and stuff like that, I pay homage to supreme being God, because ultimately, if I work with one orisha or another, it's still God. You still have to pay homage to him. Okay, if this is what you say it is, okay, whatever. You have your stamp of approval. And then we move forward from that. So because of that, I feel as though a lot of people are taking on this this new age. Now, when we say new age, it may be new to you, but this is something that has come across. I mean, that is the cycle of life. Things are going to always repeat itself. So it may be something that is new to you or what have you, but this is something that has been transpired from time and time again. And once you begin to realize how, the beginning of man up until now, it's going to be the same thing, the same thing. This is the cycle of life. Okay, you're going to always have, one group of people versus the next group of people, where people have come into the norm and the realization of things like that. So, a lot of times you'll hear me speak a lot on certain groups of people in terms of age, or what have you. There are stages in life when things become apparent to you. Okay. So I'm saying this to say, in regards to the new age, it's not new in terms of brand new. It's been around for some time, but at a certain stage in life, God will unveil things to you and open your eyes to where you say, oh, okay, now I get what they're talking about, so to speak. And that's what is transpiring right now, because I feel like this message is in regards to illumination across the world. I have the Queen of Pentacles, which is in the third position right now. And so I feel as though more and more people are, I feel like a lot of their faith are being tested right now is the point. Like, what do you believe? Like, what do you honestly believe right now? And I think right now, a lot of people who have judged people in terms of the mental capacities are now being on the opposite end of the spectrum, so to speak. Because it's like, you know what? I've done all of the things. I mean, I put all my ducks in a row. I had all my stones set, you know, and I'm at a loss. And so that's what I feel like is going on right now. Like we are all being having to face the music right now because the things that has been told to us, a lot of people are beginning to see, you know, maybe there is something in the way life is set up. Maybe there is something with this spirituality thing. Maybe the way things are placed within certain towns as such is being guided by a powerful force beyond us. But these eyes can see. Maybe certain people are conditioned in life as we know it to see it in that manner. And I think this is what is going on right now is that more and more people worldwide, because I do have the world card, I honestly feel as though this is going to be something that is going to transpire on a more, rapid pace. And like I said, I felt like the agnostic and the atheist movement was, you know, prevalent in the younger population. I feel as though a lot of the older population are coming out of the woodworks. This is how we felt in that time and being. But because of being judged, we were sealed from speaking. We were sealed from telling it, telling on God, so to speak. And what is beginning to reveal unravel right now is that a lot of the people that are the younger population that are searching for answers are finding that you have a lot of the older persons. This is how they felt, but because of needing to keep up a certain image and integrity, they was told to not show that in to the contrary. Like you don't let Satan in, you don't let everybody know how you truly feel. Okay. So that is what's going on right now. So I feel like this reading is in reference to tarot card readers as such. I believe a lot more people are into this new age way of belief than they would let on people to know. So card seven's position, I have the Wheel of Fortune. The attitude is this. I think a lot of more people are starting to look at their finances, like starting to pay more attention to fortune, meaning starting to pay more attention to investments and business minded sort of thought processes in regards to how it relates to their stability and their future right now. That's what I feel. I feel like you have more and more younger persons are looking to get into entrepreneurship and or at least inquire about it. Okay. But as I mentioned, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be an entrepreneur, but it does take some things before you would get to those that aha moment, because they will try to seal you from knowing certain things until your due time. Okay. We have card 8, what is surrounded by. So I have the 6 of Cups. So again, this is something that you will find that a lot of the older women are feeling right now. Like they feel like, oh my gosh, somebody came in and knocked me off my destiny, or, kept me from catching the train, so to speak, missing out on my potential. and things of that nature. And I'm just being, honest and real about it, because when I do my presentations, I say it's for entertainment purposes and I give my opinions on things, you know, hey, whether people listening, I do feel like some people are listening, and I do feel like some people get aggravated by it. That's why I say it's for entertainment purposes. That means you do not have to partake in my webinar nor my podcast. I don't mean to be offensive to people. I'm just reading it how it may. So card nine, we have what? That's the Hope, Spirits, and Dreams card, and I have the Seven of Cups. So I feel like right now, a lot of people are fearing being judged. There's a lot of people who feel and are sensing the same things right now. Like, oh my gosh, am I crazy? Does people think I'm crazy? Am I going to be viewed as being crazy? Do people think I'm on drugs? Do people think I am, whatever? And this is how you will know that this is how God enlighten you on things. This is how he will enlighten you on things. And it will appear and it will seem as though you crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. This is it. This is how it happens. This is how it happens. And when those spirits start to manifest into this time and this space, they did the same things did back then as they do now. And this is what they mean when they say he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Trust and believe it. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem as though I'm the most perfect person. I did everything right, because I'm going to tell you something. Everybody, I think most people in life probably, just giving a personal opinion, maybe some 70% of people in life typically going to start off being prudent about whatever. That's life. And when you begin to be that way, you will notice how the cosmos will mark and taunt you for that intellect or that mentality. And that's across the board, that's across the board. So you will begin to understand that oftentimes the ones that you're surrounded by who's there to mark and taunt you, God will show you that those are taunting demonic spirits. Plain and simple. They don't have, oftentimes they don't even have an idea as to what they're doing. He will show it to you. He will put it in them. They will come in an agreement. Even if they don't even know each other, it would just come in an agreement towards you, and it would, to make it appear to you that they're on the same team. You will find oftentimes they're not. And this is how he will let you know that is the test. It will appear as though all of these people are stacked against you, and ultimately that could be the case, but I'm letting you know many a times they have no control over it. This is what they mean when they say in agreement. That's how it works. So it takes somebody who has been through life and has stood through the test of time to gather and understand that. Because oftentimes when you get so captivated and being, self-conscious of yourself, insecure, lack of confidence, and no strength, I'm telling you, it's hard at a certain age. Like, this strength has to be built up. This is not something your average younger person is going to pick up. This is somebody who has really went through the test. I mean, have done it several times to where you can gauge as to what this is. And when you're somebody that is not true to yourself and stable in yourself and confident in yourself, it will break you, particularly when you're under a lot of stress and duress. It would. So again, we'll begin to card 9, which is the Seven of Cups. This is the card here for card nine's position. As I mentioned, oftentimes when that get that card, it could be in reference to an illusion, mental concerns, some type of substances or under the influence or something like that. But as I mentioned, the core reading itself is in regards to the tarot card readers, those who are out there that's into, tarot card reading, and could be witchcraft, Wiccan, voodoo, hoodoo, Hindu, whatever your practice is. But as I mentioned, I am not, I'm not doing this to control nobody. I'm doing this to protect myself and my children, is what it's for. Basically. Because I do know when you begin to incorporate these, I'm not too much into the spells, but I do, pay homage to Orishas and as such. When you start getting off into that, it can be mishandled. It could be very much mishandled. So that's one thing I try not to do is mishandle authority. Okay, because when it comes around, as I mentioned, what goes around comes around. When karma comes your way, it ain't gonna be nothing pretty. So I'm not one of those people who try to mishandle authority at all or abuse it. Nah, I'm tired. I don't have time for that. Excuse me. So the outcome of this is the Queen of Cups. So in regards to this reading, for more clarity, I'm going to pull 3 more cards, just 1, 2, and 3. So right now I feel as though a lot of those persons who are off into this new age way of belief and practicing are being ostracized. But what you will begin to find out is this: it's not against the law. It is not against the law to be a voodoo practicer or witch doctor, as they say, or witchcraft. Is not against the law, particularly if it's not done, to harm or hurt the next individual. It's not against the law. Okay, so I do show that somehow I just got an image of the past, and it lets me know that it was shunned upon because many of the individuals in the past, and I show the King of Swords here, actually partake in it in the past, and they used it to manipulate it for their benefit in the past. And because of that, I think that this is how a lot of the division and the taking over certain resources and regions and things have come about because of the use of these items. Trust and believe, I have no desire to take over anything. Okay, I haven't done anything more horrible than what the average person has done. Plain and simple. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to close out this podcast on the tarot card reading. And for those individuals out there that may be interested in some tarot card classes, I don't charge for doing the readings, but I can just kind of give you some tips on it. I don't consider myself expert at doing tarot card reading. I am self-taught. And when you begin to get off into tarot card reading and you become in sync with the cards, it correlates with what your thoughts are. Okay. So it's hard for me to actually give a so-called personal reading to a person. What I could do is, as I mentioned, just hold up the card, and then you could just say, oh, okay, well, this is what comes to my mind, and I can help you gather what the cards are relaying to you. Okay. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment in the comment section. Until then, you have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.